Katrin here with European Papercrafts in the US. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you my Father's Day cards. So let's get started. First I have this decoupage pack that comes from Do Crafts Paper Mania, and it's called Mr. You Are Number One. And in this pack you get 8 sheets. So let's see what's in here. You have 2 sheets of each. So you have these 2 die cut sheets, and you have on each die cut sheet 2 embellishments. Here is the Mr. Fix-It, and then down here the number 1. But there are many layers for each of the embellishments, so you could easily make more than 2 cards from each sheet if you don't all stack it up on one embellishment. And then you also have some extra art here that you can use on your cards. So these are of course die cut, and all you have to do is push them out and they come out quite easily. So then you also have 2 die cut sheets in here, the best dad in the world, and then simply the best. We also have winner here, which is an additional embellishment. And then some sentiments, with love always. And then of course this is a sentiment, the best dad in the world. But you also have world's greatest. So you can play around with it a little bit. And then you have 4 background papers, 2 each. This one here is in a light gray and a darker gray. And maybe, yeah, here it is. So it looks to me like this is a compass needle, and they made it into a design which is pretty subtle, but I think it's clever. It looks nice and definitely masculine. And then the second 2 papers is some form of a newspaper print. And again, I think this is great for mail cards. So you have plenty. And these are just single-sided. And a little bit, so these are not cardstock, these are papers, so you can add them to your card. However, the die cut sheets, they're cardstock, so they're a little bit more sturdy. I made a few cards with this pack, and I had fun doing it. So here's my first one. This comes from the Mr. Fix-It. The only thing I did here is I changed the sentiment. So I used the background paper that came in the pack. I just added 1 strip of paper that I had in my stash. I added, of course, the great embellishment, and I layered it up. But then instead of Mr. Fix-It, I just used a different sentiment that I had in my stash, and I outlined it with some glitter borders. Yeah, I didn't want to put too much glitter on there. You know me, I like a lot of glitter, but I understand these are cards for men and they may not appreciate a lot of glitter, but a little bit of border looks good. And then down here we have the I really think that you are number one. I think that's a sweet sentiment, and this is off the sheet and it sits right here. So that's my first card. My second card, I used the same sheet, the embellishment number 1, Happy Father's Day, and I used the same background paper. Here I have a colorful card blank. This is like a seafoam, a darker seafoam that I had in my stash. I still have to add a piece of white paper here so I can write my sentiment in there. But here we have the same background paper, the beautiful embellishment, just a little bit of bling, not too much, glitter border, and Happy Father's Day is, this was actually a part of packaging that I still had in my stash. I fuzzy cut it and just added to this card because it mimics the same color as the card is. So I think that turned out fine. And then my third card, with the same pack, I used the best dad in the world embellishment. Here I have a greenish card blank from Michaels, and very simple, some background paper from my stash, so I didn't use what was in the pack. I had some corrugated paper strip, and this is just one thing, and I'm using up what I have, and I just fishtailed it. And then of course I added this great embellishment and layered it with foam pads so that it pops out. Added a little bit of glitter border to finish the card, but you know, for a Father's Day card, and you know, if you know me, I'm not making a lot of mail cards. This is always a challenge for me. This pack helped me come up with cards that I can enjoy making, and they look great, but they're also suitable for the men in our lives. Okay, so, but there's more. I have more. So then I have 2 packs of the Easy 3D toppers by Papercrafts. This one here is called Vintage Cars, and in each of these bags you have 10 different embellishments. They come individually packaged, and there are 3 steps to them. So these are great embellishments to make mail cards. So we have these vintage cars here. So look at this, Route 66, 3 steps are in here. All these great cars, great colors, and these are large embellishments, so they're about 5 inches by 3, so larger embellishments for big cards. Here we go. Yeah, I love these, and I'm sure that the guys in our lives would love to get a card with a beautiful car on it. The artwork is really stunning. It has some foiling to it. We have a VW bus here with a surfboard, a sports car, even a motorcycle, Las Vegas, and some cactus here, and another one. So this is my first pack I wanted to share. I think these make great cards. And then the second one I found is Sports and Hobby. So we have again 10 embellishments in here. So let's see, there is soccer, golf, boxing, bowling, windsurfing, Formula One, basketball, skateboarding, sailing, and tennis. So let's see, these are about 4 inches by 2.5. And this is of course approximate because each embellishment has a little bit of a different shape. But I made a couple of cards with this pack, and here's my first one. So this is Happy Father's Day, the same sentiment as I have used before. I actually used Christmas paper here because I had this white card blank, and I thought the stars would just make a great background for this Formula One car. The mirrored paper here, I just had a strip, I cut it again into a fishtail, and then I finished the card with some matching border in red, and I linked those below. A little bit of bling, and of course this is foiled here, the background, so you have a little bit of bling there as well. But I am quite pleased how this card turned out. Even though it has red in here, still I think makes a great masculine card. So that's my first card. And then card number 2, I used the sailboat. So here I have a white blank, card blank, and I layered 2 different blue papers and left just a little bit of a border. So then I had this glitter paper here. I just cut it so it kind of mimics the ocean water. And then, of course, the beautiful embellishment of the sailboat. Here I used just 2 fishtails, and it kind of looks to me like flags. You know, that is also appropriate, I think, for a card with a sailboat on it. But then these pebbles here, This is actually a pack by 49 and Market, and they're called wishing bubbles. These are stickers, and they come in 3 different colors. So you can see the blue one that I have used on my card, and they're quite dimensional. So they're pretty thick and in pink, and then in like a sand color. So stickers that I think just worked out great on this card, gave it a little bit of a pop, and you can see here how dimensional those are, but you don't need any glue. There are stickers. So these are my 2 cards from the Easy 3D Topper packs. I hope you liked my Father's Day cards. I had a lot of fun creating them. If so, please leave me a thumbs up, and please join us on Facebook in our craft group so I can see what you're creating. So thank you very much for spending time with me. Please stay or get well and be kind. Thank you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.